Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's the Parent Entrepreneurs here, and today what we'll be doing is we'll be investing with Max series. If you guys have not watched the previous video, I highly suggest you guys go watch that now. As a disclaimer, this is just for educational purposes only, and if you are looking for financial advice, I highly suggest you seek out a registered financial advisor. That makes sense? Let's get started. All right, so it's been a long time, guys. I know we've been super busy for the Parent Entrepreneurs. We've done a lot of campaigns, a lot of basically, I guess you can say partnership and stuff like that. So apologize if I haven't been keeping up to the cannabis space and the what's going on there. But I suspected from the summer to now, we are seeing an uptick and we're seeing some volatility, and that's what I expected, especially when the election is coming up for the US, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen, and yeah, we'll get started. All right. So what you're seeing here, guys, is basically, hold on, let me see if I can move myself in here, just because I am using the second screen and I am sharing that. So sharing the second screen, let me just double check. Second, we're good. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. So basically, as per usual, we're gonna look at RIV Capital, Lifeus, BLGB, Weed, ACB, Tilray, and yeah, you can see here that the percentages, we are seeing a bunch of volatility. The only one that's currently red right now is Lifeus. You can see negative 14.29, and we're gonna try to see what happened there, and we'll kind of break it down. But what you're seeing here, this is RIV Capital, and we're seeing that there is a lot of volatility around the October month, right? So it did hit like a high of, let's say here, close to 23 here. Then after that, it kind of dipped down. Then on the first of, so I guess on here, the September, this is where it hit the 23 cents range. Then after that, it went down and around to like 17 and a half to 18. Then it went back up. But yeah, we are seeing that volatility starting from September to October now, then going to November. And just a heads up that there is a US election that is going to be held for November 5th. So just remember that, guys. November 5th, very important date. And what we're seeing here with the big guys like Weed, ACB, Tilray, we are seeing some strength in terms of the volatility, and it's going upwards, and we'll break it down later on. But here you can see support and resistance. It did break that support and resistance on October 22nd on Tuesday, but it was a green day. You can see here it was a green day, and you can see that tail. Then after that, the next couple of days, it became a green, and you can see here, you can definitely see that this is, I'm just gonna close this. You can see, look at this, that it jumped all the way to basically a low of 19 cents and a high of 22 and a half. And sorry, a low of, so it opened at 19 cents, then a high of 22 and a half, then the low of 18 and a half, then it closed at 19. But you can see that there was a major big gap there. Meaning big volume, 111K. Normally it would be millions, but just because there is from before, like this 2010, 5K and etc. So there's not much volume in terms of from before. But in here, what you're seeing actually in the last trading day, that people are still undecisive. They're not sure coming into the weekend if they should hold or if they should sell. But there is a lot of undecisiveness that is going on here, right? So that's for RIV Capital. So just a heads up on that. And if I go to RIV and I just see their board and CEO.ca, you can see last newsroom or newswire here is RIV Capital provides updates on revenue performance and synergy realization ahead of anticipation of the business combination. So if you do click on that, then you'll be able to see more details of the RIV Capital and the acquisition of the multi-state platform. Today announced the operation of company. Then remember this from my last video, the consortium So they're going to be amalgamating. So it's going to be a combination of rib, then consortium. Basically, once they do the amalgamation, we're going to have essentially not rib capital anymore, but the consortium TIEUM stocks, right? So if you want to learn more about that, definitely read on this. There is a lot of good information that you can definitely check out. All right, so basically that's Rib, and I'm gonna go down to Lifeus, and this is interesting. Lifeus, it was down basically 1 cent, and you can see negative 14 and 25 cents. And I'm not sure what happened there, but it definitely took a dip. It's not following the other patterns from what we're seeing Rib, BLGB, Weed, ACB, and Tilray. So very interesting. So you can see here in November, and for Rib, it was actually the opposite, that it actually came up and it was going up and up, but here it's actually going down, and it's trading bearish as of its current state. And you are seeing this volume spike randomly. You don't see like, consistently. Here you're seeing it randomly in the chart here. So yeah, very, very interesting for Lifeus. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I do know that there are making some changes in the board, so that could be a indication that a lot of people are essentially either cashing out and realizing either the gain or just cutting their losses. You can see here only a matter of time until the TXX exchange adopt this, so POS like RS can get crushed around the clock. Make the switch up, don't report immediate halt, follow up by the voluntary bankruptcy, and we move on with our lives. Same old Right now, earnings before 2. I bet they release earnings late eve again, and we all know what that means. If earnings were based on kicking, wow, number 1 rank can. So yeah, basically just people are just talking here on 24th. So there was a lot of chatter there. Lifeus turns after hours. It's embarrassing that at this point we got 6 bids on deck. Pitiful. So yeah, a lot of people here looks like they're not very happy with where the stock is going out of its current state. Okay, so let's go over to BLGV. You can see BLGV is up like 50%, 1 cent up. It is very choppy. Like you can see here, the stock is very choppy. Volume, not much as well. So you can see 84K, you can see 7K, you can see 4K, and etc. So not much going on there, but it was up 50% last trading day. And if I go to BLGV here, let's see what people are saying. So the last message was on the 23rd. Not me, I gave up many years ago. So it looks like people gave up on the stock already. More entertainment worth pennies. We have more manager than $sign. Yeah, people are not happy about this stock as well because it's been beaten down so significantly. Okay, so Weed. So let's see the pattern for Weed. So yeah, you can see here September. So it did hit once it hit this support, then it broke that. That you can see in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 days, it had a red day, 4 red days. Then after that, it hit the low of what you can see here, so around $5.98. Then from here, there's 1, 2, 3 green days. Then it spiked up. Then actually it went down again. Then we've been in the support resistant in October for quite some time. Then it actually even went lower on. You can see here October 10th, right? It hit this. So you can see the trading volume almost 10K and hit around $5.36. And after that, it started to come back up at the end of closer to the end of October here, the 21st, 22nd. Then it started going to new support and resistance. So it kept on breaking. It broke this resistance, then it broke this resistance. Then we'll see. Hopefully next week we might see another resistance that will break the $8.96 range to almost $9, right? If it goes above $9 next week, then that's a good indication that we're gonna see this stock go even higher and higher. Just because you see this gap here, so what we're trying to do potentially is we're trying to fill this gap, and once we can fill this gap, then we might see the stock go higher and higher. Okay, so that's for weed. So we're currently up 11.16%. All right, so go down to read here what is people asking. Is Camilla legalizing pot? Marijuana stocks are good cyclical buys, nice rebounds, small bumps, good volume, position building, da 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 da. Okay, that's for weed. Then we'll move over to ACB. ACB was up 5.10%. And let's see if it's following the same pattern. So yeah, September it kind of went down. Then it was in this support resistance for quite some time. Then it did break this resistance as of October 22nd. Then it kept on hovering that. Then now we're in this support, this new support and resistance. So hopefully next week we might see some indication of a bullish trend, and especially the election coming up. And we'll show you why the stock we might see it bullish and might see a bunch of green days, just because Trump and Harris are for legalization of MJ. For Telray, I'll go for ACB first. Let me look at CEO.ca, see what everybody's saying. CEO.ca, what are they saying here? Aurora Cannabis to host second quarter 2025 investor conference call. Great spot to nibble here, in my opinion. Slap o'clock. So that was the messages there. So it looks like some people are very positive with the stock. And going over to Telray, let's see if it's seeing the same pattern. So September, September it was actually had a good September month. Then after that it went to $2.55, right? Hit that top, so that resistance. Then after that, in a couple of days, it went to the support and resistance. Then it did break that on September 20th. Then it went to a new support and resistance. Then it kept on going down. Then again in October around 10th, and went down. It dipped. Went to this new support resistance. Then now around the October range, now it's in this new support resistance. So hopefully we can see Tilray break this resistance at around the 240 range, and if it can go up to this new support resistance and keep breaking this support resistance again, then we might see essentially a good indication of the stocks is just going to keep climbing up. And if there is a catalyst, and there is one that's happening, we're going to see the stock going to be very volatile. People are going to be doing profit taking. At the same time, people are going to be putting in a lot more money just because there's going to be a lot of volume that you're seeing here. And you are seeing that volume picking up here from, the summertime, not much volume, right? Like there is this one major spike, then it kind of teetered down, but the volume will indicate that there's going to be a lot of trading that's happening and a lot more investors that are interested in this stock. Okay, so going to Tilray, what are people saying? It was not the same CEO, so you don't get paid to think, so don't think too hard. Then there's some link here. Weed sector is up. So this was on October 22nd. Somebody said that. Anyone have news to what's going on since 11 o'clock? So yeah, on October 22nd, stocks started just going up. Blue Point, and this is their last news wire. Blue Point brewing launches big malt brew to raise funds and awareness for men's health during November. Okay. All right, so we covered everything in this watch list here. So now let's look over the U.S. election 2024. So this is the Google search that I've done. 2024 United States election are scheduled to be held on Tuesday, November 5th. Again, very important date. During this presidential election, the president and vice president will be elected. Okay. So very important to kind of keep a watch on that of what's going on, and just to keep us in the know. And this article here is really good. So this was 4 days ago, but essentially What they're saying here is that Trump and Kamala, they're Trump and Harris, they're for MJ, and they basically want to legalize it, right? So they favor federal legalization. The day of just say no are over. Now candidates across the political spectrum are embracing legal pot. Marijuana reform is the rare bipartisan issue is this year's presidential election. Said the Wall Street Journal, both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris have offered support for easing restriction. Trump has said he'll vote for legal weed in Florida's upcoming referendum on the issue, while Harris has vowed to legalize the drug, putting the cannabis on a sure footing than ever. More than 2 dozen states and the District of Columbia have legalized adult marijuana use, but the industry says more reform are needed. Democrats want this, Republican wants this. Both sides should be able to come together and have something reasonable happen, said one executive. So yeah, if you want to read on this, definitely check out this website to learn more. But just to kind of break it down, they're for legalizing MJ. So something's definitely gonna happen, and that's a good sign for the space. Okay. All right, as per usual, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show the current portfolio, and right now it's not looking too good, but it is what it is. And you can see here for Lifeus and Rib Capital, currently for Lifeus is down 99.01%, so almost 14K, and Rib Capital is basically down 83.50, so $800.45 and 95 and 95 cents. Okay, so that's the unrealized loss essentially. So what's gonna happen now? We'll just keep waiting and see what happens, and hopefully we see the sector try to, go up again. And if it does, it's gonna be exciting, kind of like what we've seen in the past. And I'm looking really forward to it. So we'll see what happens in the election there November 5th. And yeah, if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Direct message us, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.